Yikes! I can't get my thing out. There it is.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wars in the Stars, episode number 112. Today, we're going to discuss the Mandalorian and the Grogu announcement. We'll talk about some more Star Wars news. We'll talk about a lot of Star Wars stuff. Ahsoka season 2. What's going on with the Mandalorian season 4? I am joined today by my pristine co-host
Grogu.
Alex, otherwise known as I don't even know what that is, dog.
That one, Grogu.
That one, Grogu. Yeah. It's style. It's a style for
But here, you want to see the real style?
Yes. Showcase. I'm ready to see this, dog. Yo, this
Platinum
tough.
blonde.
This
Platinum
tough,
blonde.
bro. This is tough. Holy shit, that is tough. Damn, bro.
Don't ask why.
I got the mustache coming in. Alex has got the.
I know. We're going under wardrobe changes this year.
I like the stash and I like the blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rocking with it. As you can see, a different setting than the last month for me. I'm back up at school. I was just telling Alex a couple minutes ago, we had a flood in our building, which is crazy. Wild. Alex, how's life been? The last week plus.
It's been going. Haven't been working as much. We had our hours cut, which is BS.
Pay your workers, man.
I know, man. You would have thought these companies making millions of dollars could fork out a few hundred for their workers, but
right
here we are. But we're living life, drinking cherry freeze prime.
Yeah. Today I am currently drinking chocolate milk.
Goated. I wish I had some
Dasani water. My setup, this is the most college setup ever. I have currently using a big chair to have the computer, and then I have my desk chair, my wooden desk chair to hold my drinks. So this is, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna complain. I've gotten lucky with a single, so this is couch. This is very nice. I'm very appreciative. Alex, I want to kind of start with this. We won't start quite yet with the Mando and Grogu stuff. Yeah. And a show came out last week. Did you know this?
Sure did.
Alex, you made a decision not to watch it. We in our preview had a tough time discussing just what the show, what we were excited about. Alex, what ultimately, because you also didn't watch the Marvels like I did. So obviously you were having a tough relationship with the Marvel brand right now. Why? I will start simple. Why did you not decide to watch Echo? And do you know what happens essentially?
Yeah, I mean, so the main part of Echo that I saw was the final fight between Maya, where she's got superpowers now. And then I guess there's hints that Fisk bought Stark Tower or Avengers Tower. I don't know. My thing with watching Echo is it didn't seem interesting to me. I thought the trailer was really cool. But trailers can only win you over so much. And when we live in a space where you can literally just look up what happens, then there's no point. I akin it to watching sports. I don't have to watch the entire thing if I can just look up a 10-minute highlight video. Get the spark notes. That's all I need. It's not a thing I need to sit down and watch if I'm not interested in it.
So, yeah, I get that. I watched it.
Okay.
I did. Okay, so I'm trying to remember how I watched the first 2 episodes Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. The first episode's bad. The first episode is reused footage from Hawkeye for 30 minutes. I'm not even lying to you. So the problem with doing the spotlight thing is that they want to make it unique, but like this character are like new, but this character's already been introduced. So there's like a problem because you're gonna have two audiences, like one who's watched Hawkeye and then
Yeah.
one who hasn't. And they
Mhm.
did the first 30 minutes of the 43-minute episode. It's just that.
Yeah.
Um, then there's the Daredevil scene in episode 1. Pretty
Mhm.
pointless cameo. He's just like we talk about cameo, that's a cameo. It just shows up for a fight.
Yeah.
Pretty choppy editing and yeah, not good. Episode 5, I feel the same way.
Mm.
Episode 5 is pretty bad. It's not bad. Average, like your average MCU finale,
Oh yeah.
which is a problem because it's just still the same repetitive pattern they're having.
Mhm.
Kingpin loses again. Technically, I would say he does.
Bro is
0
0
and 2.
2 against this person, against this bitch Maya. And I'm
If
supposed
we're
to
gonna
take this
build
man
up,
serious.
yeah, if we're gonna build him up as the Kingpin of or the Thanos of the street level villains, that doesn't work. Episodes 2 through 4 are really good. I like episodes 2 through 4 are really good. I actually got really connected to the family. Now, what this show does that I was able to connect a lot more to her family, her grandmother,
Mm.
her grandfather, Uncle Henry. Like the family aspect was there, and I think it's something I didn't connect to as much in Miss Marvel,
Mm.
but I was able to connect with this. I was able to connect with that indigenous story that they were going for there, the struggle of the indigenous people and Maya's like journey and her struggle to be in between these two families that are so desperate to have her, but they never like take into account how she feels, right? Because it's almost easy to do that as Maya is deaf.
Mm.
So like it's hard, it's more difficult to communicate. But then like in the end, she realizes who her true family is, you know, her ancestry, all that classic,
Mm.
whoa, all that classic hero journeys stuff. So if this show is condensed to even 4 episodes, I think it's a much better show. I
Right.
would put it on the level. So like, there's tiers to me, right? So like tier, like there's Loki and Moon Knight. That's a tier. That's a
Mm.
tier.
Of
And I
course.
would even say Loki might even be in its own tier. I think
Might
you can
have to
make a
be.
real argument. Then we have like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know people love WandaVision, but I'm going to put WandaVision in that tier because I think it has
Mm.
problems. And Hawkeye. I think that's a tier.
Yeah.
And then you can even throw Miss Marvel in because I'm lower on that than most people. So let's throw that in. And then I think there's like a definitive like bad tier, like Secret Invasion,
Mm.
She-Hulk.
Yes.
I would throw Echo in that middle tier. And I think that
Okay.
middle tier on any day for me is interchangeable. Like I could make an
Yeah.
argument that it's the third best Disney Marvel,
Hey,
Disney plus
yeah,
Marvel thing.
that's good.
And then I could also make the argument that it's like the worst of that middle bunch. But I don't.
Mm.
It's just again run of the mill MCU type of show. I appreciate its scale. It's small scale, which I appreciate. It doesn't
Yeah.
try to be bigger than it needs to be, but I would suggest if you might like it. If you do ever get around to it, you might like it. Is it consequential for the MCU? No. Partly for Kingpin and Vincent D'Onofrio is fantastic again.
Yeah.
You obviously know about the post credit scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Um. Um. So I feel like, personally speaking, I have been burned by MCU post-credit scenes as of late. I feel like a lot of them feel huge, and then they turn out to be nothing. So, as I'll say with every post-credit scene until we have a follow-up, optimistic. Looks interesting.
Yeah, so Mayor Fisk, we kind of knew this. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be until Born Again. So that's a year. Who knows when
Yeah.
that who knows when
Yeah.
that comes out? That's the thing with these things. It's cool. It's really
Hmm.
cool. And then this gets into the new discussion, and we've had this discussion probably before. Is the Defenders series, are they canon?
They've been canonized now.
See, but then also like the book, like the official like Marvel
Mhm.
thing, doesn't have them. They don't talk
But I
about them.
think that's because they were just canonized. If you go right now to the MCU timeline section on Disney Plus, the Defenders saga is now a part of it, and they had one of the producers essentially confirm it at a press for it in an
Right.
interview.
Yeah.
So, and I think if I'm being honest, um, I think the Defenders to make it honestly a good comparison for them. I think they are going to be like how the books and comics are canon for Star Wars. They are canon, but if it comes to a movie addressing those events, the movie's events of those events will be the real events of those
Right.
events. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. I know
Uh,
what you're saying.
and I feel like that's how it is entirely for the series. I feel like if you have a connected universe where it's movies and TV and other media, it's always going to be like that. But that's what I feel like it is right now. Because we've already seen in the show, from what I know, they do reference things from the Daredevil series that don't line up accurately.
So like the like hammer that he uses to kill his dad is
Yep.
different.
The hammer's different. The wall is different.
Right. My thing is I they're canon,
Mhm.
but they're like canon adjacent to me. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bits and pieces are going to be brought in,
Hmm.
but like that's a I wouldn't even call it an Elseworld story. I'd still think it things that matter to the MCU will matter. The things that mattered in that show that could
Hmm.
pertain still to the MCU will be brought in.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense to me. Does that mean that like we'll see Luke Cage? Like, does that mean I don't know.
No, and honestly, I find it more likely, honestly, that we'll probably find out that the Luke Cage and Iron Fist and all them, I feel like they'll probably just get retconned and will
Yeah,
be recasted.
yeah. Another thing with Fisk, right? Like, if you're gonna say that that's canon, Maya, like Echo is like
Mm.
it doesn't make any sense then, because a big part of Kingpin's character, he learns Chinese to like be able to navigate the criminal underworld.
Yeah.
So like for him in the show and Echo, for him not to like learn sign language
Hmm.
to sign, that's a clear, distinct, like different character. Again, there's just nuances that are different. I think they're canon adjacent. I think bits and pieces of the shows will be brought in, um, but not all of them. I think that's the way I always thought it was going to be. I think that's how we both thought. I never thought that they were going to be canon because then you make nobody happy
No, yeah.
if like you make one of the decisions. Like you don't make like half the people like this is stupid and then half the other people like this is great. So like them pulling bits and pieces and makes everybody happy.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like again, I feel like it just also, yeah, makes sense for the story to take the bits that everybody liked and then take the bits that maybe people weren't as high on
Right.
and expand and change them. But I mean, hey, I'm cool to see Marvel is open to these kind of things because I feel like it opens the floodgates up for, well, what about the X-Men? What
Hmm.
about the Fantastic Four?
Right.
What about this and what about that? What about the old Blade movies? What about the old Daredevil movies?
Right.
What is that gonna mean? And who knows? I think it's cool to see that Marvel is willing to bring it in.
I agree. All right, I mean, let's move into it. The Mandalorian and Grogu officially coming to theaters. Will be the first Star Wars film in theaters, according to the press release. Will be filming this year.
Mhm.
We learned this last Tuesday on a random tweet.
Yep.
Interesting. Go. Just your first gut initial visceral reaction. What is it?
Well, that's random.
Right?
That was my thought. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I mean, excited.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I'm skeptical. I'm
Right.
excited. It's Star Wars back in the movie theater. You know how I feel about Star Wars in the movie theater.
Yep.
I'm a little indifferent to them. We have some problems. Me and these Star Wars people. But I I'm excited to hopefully see them back on the theater next year. I know there were some people who tried to run with this as like, oh, well, Dave Filoni's movie's canceled. As far as we know, it's not.
Really? People were saying this? Even though in the press release it quite literally says that Dave Filoni's film's still coming.
Well, listen, in this press release, it also said the Rey movie was still going on, and now people think it's delayed.
That's fair. That's
So
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
who knows?
Yeah.
But I, no, again, I'm excited. I think it does have some implications that are unfortunate for season 4 of the
Okay.
show, because I think kind of everybody was under the impression that like season 4 was going to be just kind of like mission of the week
Right.
style, and now you're kind of turning season 4 into a movie. Then there was the reports that season 4 is still happening, but then the finale will end up being the theatrical movie, which will then make season 4 only 6 episodes. So you're just kind of like, we're getting wishy-washy here.
Can't have it both ways.
No. If you're asking me personally right now, if I'm to make out the kind of timeline for things, I would have Skeleton Crew come out end of this year. I would have the Mandalorian movie, the Mandalorian and Grogu, come out next year. Then have
title, by the way. We'll get into that.
Yeah, that's it's a little boring, but
it's
then have Ahsoka season 2, and then have either Mandalorian season 5 or the Dave Filoni movie. But
and that's it.
And that's it. I think you end it there. I think the Dave Filoni movie has to be the final. Like that's it. That's the.
I think they said it is. I think
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they called it the culmination of it. So.
I have some complicated thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
I was initially excited because I think this is the perfect movie. This has been your 2 most popular characters. I would argue since you've bought the company. I think Grogu and the Mandalorian have been the 2 most popular characters, and then to have their show, even though we got problems with the Mandalorian season 3, we think it's weaker than season 1 and 2. Viewership wise, it was the most watched show. Most watched show in 2023.
Yep.
Like it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I think it's just perfect. It makes total sense. You have Favreau, who's a master, of cinema. It's gonna sound Elf, obviously. That's the classic.
Yeah.
Iron Man, like Favreau.
Iron Man
takes. Okay, Jesus Christ, Alex. He does such a fantastic job of taking these niche ideas and just expanding upon them. And I think him with a film budget, I can't wait, because I will say this one thing about The Mandalorian. When it looks good, it looks really good.
Yeah. And when it looks like Kenobi, it looks like Kenobi.
Right, but I think they do. Favreau's so into the
Yeah,
tech side of it. I think he's just does such a good
yeah.
job.
I mean, I
Uh,
think with this though, like with on the conversation of the volume,
no, please, I will
well, no,
say,
I'm just saying,
I
like
know where you're gonna go with this. I think.
I'm just saying we have to remember the volume was built around the Mandalorian, so
Hmm.
it only makes sense that the Mandalorian is like the only show where it's like consistently 9 out of 10 times almost perfect.
Right. Even in movies, it's been bad.
Gosh,
Love and
Thor: Love and
Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah, I mean,
The
it, it's
Batman, it's good,
it's weird because I always forget that the Batman uses it.
but that's like because you use those dark.
Mm, it's always better in the dark.
Always better at dark lighting.
Mm.
Never good in light.
Like I'm
Never.
telling you, one of the best looks that it's ever had was in the season 3 episode where it was him and Bo on that planet with Lizzo and Jack Black when they were at nighttime running after the droid. It looked beautiful there.
Right.
But I'm telling
Right.
you, I don't know what it is. Anytime the volume is on Tatooine, it always looks bad.
It looks really bad. It's
And
gotten worse too, in my opinion.
yeah, I think it's also weird just because like every time, but I can always just tell when they're using the volume. I don't know if you've been able to be able to point it out, but I think it's because of how many frequent cuts there are. You can just be like, oh, they're running to the edge of the frame. You can just tell that they had to cut so they could readjust.
Right.
That's my only nitpick about the volume is I can just tell when they're using it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how they use it. But to get more into my reaction, as the days went on, I thought about this,
Mhm.
and I'm like, this it does slightly raise a red flag. It might be a little bit of a panic move. We know that they want to get a movie out.
Mhm.
I think they have the most faith in this getting out before Charmin Obey Chinoy's film.
Yes, and I think also we keep
I
in
think that's a
mind
very real
that
thing.
yeah, it's also just like it's easier just to be like, hey, can you turn these like what 4 or 5 hours of TV? Can you just condense part of it into 2 hours and then we
Right.
can release it? Like, I think that's the other thing. Like right now, to kind of touch on that Rey movie report,
Hmm.
there was the report that the film was indefinitely, put on hold.
Right.
Um, and one of the main people on it was potentially leaving. And then they reported, Bespin Bulletin, this being reported that, and before I even get to that, the report came from an unreliable source, like in the first place. It wasn't anybody over the top reliable.
I think
Um,
it's a website. I read Bespin's article a little bit just to see where they got it from because
mm,
Bespin's really good, right?
yes.
We talked a lot about Bespin. Um, this comes from like a website that does gets a lot of stuff about smaller films.
Mm,
I believe Bespin stated in his article, and Bespin said that he likes their stuff and
yeah.
he thinks they're pretty reputable. Um, so yeah, again, they haven't really done anything big budget, I don't think, leak wise or scoop wise. So like, I don't kind of iffy on it myself. There have been stuff. Even Bespin said interested stuff because the guy you were talking about, I believe, is the writer.
Mm,
Uh, he's doing the Peaky Blinders movie.
yeah.
He's writing the Peaky Blinders movie, and then he signed on to do something else, I believed.
Yeah. So they're
There's
yeah. So they're currently just awaiting a draft from the guy.
right. There's conflicting reports that there's a draft done, that there's
Mm,
not a draft done, that something's been turned. Again, we don't know for sure, right? We're never gonna know for sure.
yeah.
So we're all just speculating, right? And then obviously, one side of the fandom's going to say, "Oh, this article is correct," and then you already see it, right?
Yeah.
Because there's
You're.
conflicting reports, right?
Mhm,
Gizmodo came out with an article, right, from somebody
yeah.
that said something conflicting. So what that tells me is nobody knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Again, the strikes just ended 2 months ago. Who knows?
Mm,
Like, he
yeah.
could be doing touch up on the Peaky Blinders movie. He could have moved off it. We don't know, right? But
Yeah.
we can only speculate. I think my speculation is I I tend to go with the trend. What's the trend with Star Wars writers and directors? What happens usually? They leave the pro. Anytime you hear of anything, though, they eventually leave, unfortunately, and that could be due to creative differences.
Mm,
This is a problem we have talked about.
yep.
Directors, writers, like it is a very real thing, and the people who deny it are just wrong. They're flat out wrong.
Mhm.
Respectfully, they are flat out wrong. It doesn't mean that the product is not going to be good, but there is a problem of people leaving these projects. I am going to tend to go with history. All right, history tends to repeat itself.
Mhm.
Again, the problem is they keep hiring people that are busy. They keep hiring people that like have other shit to do. Look at Ryan Johnson's trilogy.
Yeah. Probably not
I mean,
happening anytime soon.
like he's got to deal with Netflix, like a gazillion dollars. Like, what are your thoughts? Obviously, there's a conflicting reports. Like, we'll touch on this Ray thing, then we'll go back to the Mandalorian thing.
Mhm.
But what are your thoughts? What does your gut say? What is that telling you? Do you believe these reports, or do you think it's not true?
I personally believe there is a hint of truth in all of them. I think potentially the problem right now with the movie could be that the guy is so caught up with Peaky Blinders that he is kind of taking the risk of a delay. Not by much, but if you say you're going to go fill up your car one day and you don't do it for 3 days, well, you're delaying it and you're potentially messing yourself and you're potentially setting yourself up. So I think that's more than likely what's happening is I feel like we're just getting into a thing where maybe he's taking a little long um with the whole Peaky Blinders project, and so it's causing a delay, but it's not like a delay like, oh, I'm potentially going to leave because I can't get to terms on creative on this film. I think it's,
Right.
again, like you said, Kathleen Kennedy, her big fault is she likes to hire busy people.
Yep.
So I think either they're going to hold out on the guy and be like, hey, like finish your stuff, and then when you're ready, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could get into the thing where, hey, we're just going to have to change writers, not because of creative differences or anything, but purely just because he's busy and we want to move this film along.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting to me because again, like the dialogue around this film already is like atrocious.
Dude, it's a war zone right now.
It's a war zone. Nobody talks about actual Star Wars anymore. And again, this is kind of a fault of the company for not producing enough or good enough content
Mhm.
that suffices of us to talk about Jesus
Yeah.
Monday. But I just think this company, they got to get it figured out. They just got to get it. Remember, this was a Damien Lindelof film to start,
Yep.
right? This was a Lindelof film. Now, just Charmin Obey Chinoy film. I don't want to be this guy. And again, I think I tend to agree with you. I think maybe he turned something in. Maybe there is a script. Again, he's busy with other things, so maybe it's not at the forefront like Lucasfilm wants. That could
Yeah.
possibly be it. I think this film might not happen.
I don't think that.
Okay.
I don't think that.
Okay.
I think this film is going to happen. I just think right now it is just not even so much as in limbo, but it's just kind of like, ooh, is this guy going to be too busy for it? And are we going to have to find new people to work on it?
Right.
Or is this guy going to be good to work on it? We just need to give him a little bit of time. Because we have to remember, like, if the film is set to start filming this year, I mean, who knows? Maybe they got to push filming back to end of the year, beginning of next year. But you know, Star Wars is covered on projects right now, so it's not like we're gonna
Yeah,
notice.
that would put. So this was never going to be. And again, I think there is some truth to this because the Mando film,
Mm,
right? But again, I think the Mando film was talked about since season 3. They had the internal ratings and stuff.
yeah,
I think that they were looking at that and they were like, "Hey, let's capitalize on the big screen."
yeah,
Um, I think so. The first scheduled Star Wars film is May of 2026. But again, I don't think we should be beholden to that date because that date also includes an Avengers film, like that
yes,
month.
yeah. And again, I think Disney's gonna learn from the last time they did this.
Yeah, don't do that,
Don't
please.
do that. I mean,
Could you imagine that month for our podcast? Holy shit.
I know. I just think if I'm Kathleen Kennedy right now, I think there's not necessarily much to worry about. I think there's some, hey, like, can you like tell me if you're gonna be too busy? Like, it's not a problem. I just want to start the project though.
Mm,
Um, that's kind of what I would be like if I'm in her spot right now.
right.
But again, right now they have a good cover with the Mandalorian movie, and I do agree with you. I think the Mandalorian movie was pushed up to make up for this potentially getting delayed. I don't think
Yep.
it's going to get indefinitely delayed. I think it's just going to maybe at most 6 months delay.
Yeah. I we can get back to the Mandalorian thing now, but again, when we talk about the date, I don't if they film this year,
Mm.
they could hit a December
Yeah,
2025 release. They could. Absolutely
yeah.
they could.
I absolutely think they could, and it would hold in line because isn't there a new Avatar movie coming out this year?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Hold on.
We could check this out, right? I don't
Is Avatar 3?
look at
Its release date is December 19th, 2025.
Oh, no December film. Okay.
But who knows? There's no
James.
title for it or anything. It's James Cameron doing it too, so.
Well, right, but remember that they filmed most of 3,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they did 2,
True,
right?
they pulled an Infinity War and Endgame.
We also might have Spider-Man 4 in that time.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I'm more. I think I'm more
no.
on the thing that that's probably gonna be like 2026 at the earliest.
Yeah, they don't even have a script for it.
They don't have a script, and just think about what's all releasing.
They don't even have
Like,
anything attached. Yeah, they don't even. I mean, they have writers, I think, but
I'm say what they have: Tom, Zendaya, and I think that's it locked in for returner or returns.
right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think there is more of a chance that Spider-Man 4 will be a 2027 kind of project.
yeah, I could see that. And I also think we also agree that of what was Avengers: The Kane Dynasty still could be now Avengers 5.
Hmm.
It's not going to hit that May 2026.
No,
That's not happening. It's
I
not
think
happening.
I think that could be in August.
They like to release their big movies in May, though.
Yeah, but you could also do one in November. Could do one in December.
Yeah, they could try. Yeah, they could do it in August, or they could do it in July, kind of around
Yeah,
the time of Comic Con, right? Like they do it with Deadpool. I think Deadpool's the week of San Diego Comic Con.
yeah. I think what they could do. I
Star Wars
think
should be May, though. It's
I
May.
yes. So I think what Disney should probably do is switch Marvel and Star Wars' release times. I think Star Wars should return to its original May slot, and I
Yep.
think Marvel should go to December.
Right.
I just feel like with Marvel, you can kind of generate more hype around the holidays. And again, Star Wars originally was in May for I literally think the first 6 movies and Solo.
Right.
So I think just keep Star Wars in May, and then put Marvel any other month.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't need a month. I don't think. Yeah, I think that Filoni. Yeah, I think 2026. I think 2026 that film will hit. And then I think the Rey film will be next if it stays. And then I think Filoni's and then Mangold's.
Yep. Yeah.
I think Filoni's film will probably be 2027.
Mm,
And then I think Mangold will be sometime after that. And then Sean Levi and then Lando. Like, who knows with those?
yeah. Is it a
Um,
movie? Is it a show? Who knows?
But let's get into you. You touched on this a little bit. I want to hear your thoughts on my take. So, the Mandoverse, right? We had the Mandalorian season 1, season 2, the Book of Boba Fett, season 3, Ahsoka season 1, and now we're gonna have Skeleton Crew a part of that universe.
Yep.
So 6 seasons within this time. And then presumably after that, the Mandalorian movie, Ahsoka 2,
Mm-hmm.
and Dave Filoni's film. Now, to me, how this should end, and I want to kind of hear your thoughts on this.
Mm.
I think it should have this film, right, be
Yeah.
part 1 of part 2.
Mm.
Part 1 of part 2. Then have kind of like your Ahsoka season 2, bringing in like your Captain Marvel, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And then have the Filoni film. But I did hear a rumor. This is coming from Making Star Wars, Jason Ward. His sources, and he's good. He works in collaboration with Bestman.
Yep.
Again, it's rumor. It's not true. He said that he heard originally a trilogy. His source said planned trilogy. So I want to get your thoughts on how you think this schedule wise, how you think this Mandoverse should end. How, with all these how these characters and yeah. Go ahead.
Are you wondering like how I would have each of their arcs end, or like in terms of like release of things?
Release of things like projects that you think
Okay.
should appear until Dave Filoni's like Heir to the Empire film.
So I think you have. So we currently are at Ahsoka season 1. I think you then go the Mandalorian season 4. You then go the Mandalorian and Grogu, which again, please change the name. Anything
Yes.
else will work better.
Yes.
And then I think you go, or no, sorry. I'm out of order here. Go Skeleton Crew, go the Mandalorian season 4, go the Mandalorian and Grogu, Ahsoka season 2, and then if there's story to be told, if it's not just dragging the series along to do it, either a Mandalorian season 5, a Skeleton Crew season 2, or just go straight to the movie.
Okay. I agree. Now we'll get into now the arcs. I think we're kind of gonna get Skeleton Crew. That's been done filming, but they're just gonna hold off on that and releasing it. I don't get it.
I feel so bad for those people.
I do.
Those people finished filming. I don't even remember how long ago they said that they
finished filming around the time of Ahsoka. Because remember, it filmed congruently with Ahsoka. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, why don't you just release it like in
now?
April?
It's done.
Yeah, like
it's done.
Hey, they want us to wait. They said, "Wait, motherfuckers, wait."
To get into the story aspect. By the way, what also makes me excited about this? Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Also, it feels like this is kind of a brash decision in some sense. The show, let's be honest here, after season 3, it kind of accomplished its goal. It's kind of felt a little directionless. Let's be honest here, people. It felt a little directionless. This whole thing with Pedro Pascal being the busiest person on the planet, being in like 4 of the biggest franchises on the planet. Well, he's not going to have time to take his helmet off.
Not only that, but like you have him being so busy, but then you have the reports that he's getting frustrated with wanting to use his face a lot more rather than just do voice acting.
Right?
So how do you please everyone? Um, but like, yeah, who knows? And
A movie's a lot, maybe easier to film for him.
yeah.
Not just that. Yeah, I also think maybe season 4's story, like I even think season 3's story could be told in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Season 4 story, I think, if it's anything like season 3 can. But to get back to the actual substance of what we think, how we think this Mandoverse is going to end now, as we're getting a more clear picture. I will skip Skeleton Crew. I'll go right to Mandalorian season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think we get more Thrawn.
Yeah.
Do you think this is Thrawn's Infinity War?
Skeleton Crew or the
Mandalorian film?
Oh,
Mind you, I don't. I'm gonna say I don't think season 4 happens.
I don't know. I think it does. What I think happens.
What do you think happens in season 4 then?
I think season 4 to use Infinity War. Let's break that down. I think season 4 will be like the Guardians fighting Thanos nowhere.
Okay.
Like I think it'll be those parts of the movie, and then I think the movie will be that like Thanos versus the Guardians and Iron Man and Strange and Spider-Man, and then ending with the snap. Like that's how I would break it down.
And I am Thrawn.
And then I think what you do is you do that. You have Ahsoka season 2 be the kind of Captain Marvel being like, okay, now we need to bring the big gun back to fight. We need to bring the big guns in because for some reason this bitch has been gone with no explanation. We need to bring her back in.
Right.
But now you have to think. Now there's Ezra. Now there's Sabine, who's a Jedi with Force powers. Now there's Ahsoka. Grogu's now Force powered. Who knows what's happening with Kelleran Beck? Maybe he's still alive. Who knows?
Also, don't forget about the big 3. You know what big 3 I'm talking about?
Yeah, I sure do. San Holo, or Leia Organs, and School Skywalker.
The big 3.
Yeah.
The big 3.
And I think that's who you bring in. And then you kill off Han Solo early.
Whoa! No!
You kill off Han Solo early.
Whoa! You have Thrawn kill Ahsoka because we cannot see her anymore, please.
Please. I'm saying this right now. My prediction for that movie, I'm gonna see if I can remember this as my bold prediction for when it comes time to the Dave movie.
Right.
Ahsoka, Thrawn, and the Mandalorian all die.
Oh my goodness, please.
All of them. Dead.
So I think we won't get a season. So if we do get to season 4, we'll get like little missions kind of that with him with the Rangers. I think you bring back my boy Timothy Oliphant as Cobb Vanth. You get some of that Rangers of the New Republic vibe again. We had some of that in Ahsoka and we had some of that in Mando, right? We had elements of what was going to be Rangers in those 2 shows. That's why some of it felt filler-ish because it was elements from those 2 shows.
Yeah.
We'll have them come back. We'll just do a little side quest and then obviously some dealing with some of the reemergence of the Empire. I don't think the galaxy is privy to Thrawn coming back yet, obviously. We might deal with some of the stuff on Dathomir a little bit. What's going on? What the hell's going on there? And then in the movie is when Thrawn, Ezra introduced to Mando. Like we start to bring these pieces together in this film.
Yeah.
I also think it's the return of the king. It's the return of Boba Fett. This makes me so excited. Dude, I'm picturing this film. Din Djarin. And then Tamora Morrison is Boba Fett. Ezra Bridger with the New Republic. Maybe not even the New Republic, because I think that will be a plot point. The New Republic won't join in because they still won't believe it's Thrawn.
Yeah.
It's like Mando, Boba and the speeder bike gang. You know the speeder bike
Oh
gang
God,
got to
not
be
the
in this.
mods.
The mods and Black Chrysanthemum, bro.
Ooh.
Black Chrysanthemum going up against Thrawn, and they get their ass handed to them.
Mm-hmm. Kill off a few of the mods. Maybe kill off Chrysanthemum. I
Go
don't know.
kill off
I think
Boba.
I
That's my other thing though. Is like if you do bring in the big three, how does that like how are these interactions gonna work, bro? You already know Dave's thinking about this. Like, bro,
Mhm.
I'm gonna
But
have Han Solo and Boba Fett on screen.
here's
How is that gonna work?
here's my other bold prediction. Now listen, you're gonna call it. Some are gonna call it far fetched. Some are gonna say
Okay.
there's no way. I think in either the Mandalorian in Grogu or the Mandalorian Dave Filoni movie, I think a character that gets brought in for help, who knows specifically people like Luke Skywalker very well from the comics, Dr. Aphra, gets brought into live action.
That's a bold take. I like it.
People call it crazy, but then who were we just talking about? That was a book character first. Cobb Vanth. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Book
Not even a
characters.
comic book. Not even a canon book was Thrawn. Thrawn was Legends, bro.
Thrawn was Legends. People will call me mad. I'm saying
You're a
this,
madman.
bro. And then look, here's the
I like
thing.
Aphra.
Aphra is so cool. Aphra is literally a fruity Indiana Jones. Like, it's so true. It's so true. Don't even die. Don't even die on me. It's so true.
I can't believe you said it like that, though.
But it's so true.
It's funny. Yeah.
Like, I straight up like would kill to see Aphra because I think Aphra is such a funny, chaotic character that
She's been with everybody. Vader, like
she's teamed with Vader. She's teamed with the big three. She's tried to kill Darth Vader. She's tried to kill the Emperor.
that takes some balls. That takes some balls.
She's tried to just do anything and everything. And like that is who I want to see. And again, and they called me a madman, but I see the vision. I see the vision.
Overall, I'll give my final thoughts here on this. I'm excited. I'm excited. That's just it's a Star Wars film. I'm excited. I'm gonna have some pessimism about some things, obviously, but it intrigues me a lot more. I when I heard this, and then even over the preceding days, I was a lot more excited than I was nervous or worried.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel? What are your overall thoughts on this? Your final thoughts?
I'm excited. You know, I think it's a movie that has a 9.9 or 9 out of 10 chance of not getting canceled.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty. Some other notes. Diego Luna. I don't know if you just saw. I just saw this. He said he's going to.
Yeah, I literally was just about to send it to you before we got
live. He's going to shoot Andor, and it's in its final week.
Yeah, so Andor could be end of the year, beginning of 2025, middle 2025. Like, oh, forgot that show was filming.
Right. I'm excited. I liked Andor season 1. Andor season 2. I think I might like a little less because we kind of know where it's going. But still, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
All my homies love Andor.
We'd love it for the bricks and screws, baby.
Bricks and screws, the things that Star Wars has never had before. It's not real Star Wars. It's my Star Wars, damn it.
I should have titled this, I'm a misogynist. Okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not my Star Wars.
Not my Star Wars. All the great characters back. Then we got a report, a bunch of insiders. This is a Marvel thing. Yes, we're going to talk a little more Marvel. Foggy Nelson.
Karen.
Part of Nelson and Murdoch.
Yeah.
And Karen Page.
Are the same people.
Going to be in the Born Again. They're gonna be born again in Daredevil. Pause.
Go them.
Um, I've watched bits and pieces of Daredevil. I know people love these characters. Thoughts, because they were originally in the original script. Reportedly, they were murked the first episode.
The first episode. Hey, it's cool. I think it's gonna feed into more that these series are canon. And I hope they're going to go like they're not canon adjacent. They're canon.
Yes.
But who knows? Again, cool for them. It's always cool to see people keep their roles over such long periods of time. Again, I think Daredevil Born Again I can't lie to you, is starting to slowly slip down the excitement rail because I'm starting to lose
One
faith.
second, I'll be right back. Keep going.
Oh. But yeah, I think Daredevil Born Again, when it was announced and we were hearing things and we saw him in She-Hulk, I was like at the tippity top up here, excited. And as we keep moving, I mean, we're hearing less and less, except for these characters are keeping or the actors are staying as their characters.
I gotta get my Daredevil glasses on, bro. My rosy red glasses. Come on now,
brother. Don't make me go get mine.
We gotta get it's not Nelson and Murdoch. It's Murdoch and Murdoch. Okay, now you have to get yours. Now you have to get yours.
And I remembered where they are too.
Murdoch and Murdoch, bro.
They're a little dusty, but
Murdoch and Murdoch, bro.
Dude, I haven't worn these in so long. The red tint is crazy.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. I'm still more excited for Born Again than you are. 18 episodes still.
It's crazy.
They brought in some new writers.
Good.
They're attached to something else. I think they might have written some Daredevil. I don't know. There was some set photos of Kingpin in his like mayor outfit, which was cool. But hey, Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, let's do it. I'm probably gonna watch Daredevil when we get to that point. I want to start watching. We had the NFL wildcard weekend over the week. I want to start watching X-Men 97 again, and it might happen tonight. I need to get it done before the new version comes out. Yeah, that's my thoughts on the Foggy Nelson and Karen Page. Do you have anything else you want to discuss, or anything else on the docket that we need to discuss?
Nothing that comes to my mind. I'm trying to see. Stephen Knight is the guy we were talking about.
Stephen Knight. Thank you. I knew it was something Knight. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't see nothing.
Okay, that's fine then. That's good. Yeah, it might be a little bit until we have our next show, because there is nothing. There's nothing coming out. Yeah. Nothing at all coming out. The Boys reportedly was a rumored release date of, I don't know how reliable the source was, a rumored release date of June.
God, I want to keep wait until June.
Jesus, man. Got a lot of stuff we're going to have to cover over the summer then. The Bad Batch might have a trailer, but like, cool. I'm excited for the Bad Batch, but like, it's not worth talking about.
Yeah.
Are you trying to play like a stoned Daredevil?
No, I just did. It's getting serious in here. I am so sick and tired of waiting for The Boys season 4 to come out. I thought they wrapped up filming forever ago. What is taking so goddamn long?
Post, dude. Post.
Where's Disney at? Overwork your VFX artist. Get him down here. Let's
Whoa,
go. Get him
what?
out here.
Whoa.
Underpay them while we're at it. Don't feed them for 3 days. Let's go. Don't, one bottle of water.
Wait, is this Anthony Starr? Are you Anthony Starr? What? Oh no.
Oh, I'm Daredevil.
Oh jeez. We have nothing to discuss until the Deadpool trailer in February when the Super Bowl comes out. So hopefully, crossing my fingers, we get something to discuss maybe here in the near future. So this might be the last show for a little bit.
I feel bad because I'm one of those people who the only reason I like watching the Super Bowl is the trailers.
Oh my goodness, this is so insult. This is like so insulting to me.
That's the only reason I like watching the Super
Bowl. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, it's okay. I have an obsession. I love football. I love sport. Alex knows I love like I'm always at a sporting event. Alex knows this. Like I watched all 6 games, wildcard games. I even paid for Peacock. Do you have Peacock?
I sure do. That's what WWE's on.
Oh, really? Shit. I did not know that.
See, like, now you can watch the Royal Rumble that is in 11 days.
I had subscribed.
Well, when did you pay for it?
I still have the month left.
Exactly. So the 27th is in 11 days.
Okay. Royal Rumble, it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Alex and I do share a bond over Pat McAfee, though.
We sure do. I love Pat McAfee.
I love Pat McAfee, too.
I love him. His podcast is great. He's a good commentator in wrestling.
He's funny. He's good.
He's funny.
NFL punter, like one of the best. Alex, you want to talk about a great punter? Pat McAfee. Just go search up Pat McAfee punts. This is how you know I'm a football degenerate, is when I'm watching punters. But I watched all 6 games this weekend. I missed maybe like 4 plays the whole weekend.
Jeez.
And we're gonna do it again next weekend with the 4 divisional round games. So yeah, insulting when people say that to me. It's you're gonna make me rant about people who watch. Oh, it ruins the game, man. It's goddamn Super Bowl, bro. People like me who watch every game. Oh, I'm gonna go on the rant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it. Let me go. Let me cook. Every week I watch this sport, bro. Every single week. I sound like bro. Every Sunday I watch this sport. I go to college football games on the weekend every day, every Saturday, and then I watch NFL football on Sunday. I get my work done in the morning. I go and I watch football like for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then to have the ultimate event ruined by a 30-minute show that is shit. It ruins the field. It's terrible.
Yeah.
7-minute long commercials with shit I do not want to see. Minus like a few trailers.
That's why I'm happy wrestling doesn't do this.
How does wrestling work? Are there commercials for this?
Yeah, so the way it works on Peacock is there will be a match, and then there will be like 5 minutes of commercial. But if you pay for like that Peacock, like whatever
Premium Plus or whatever it is, yeah.
Then since there's no ads, they have to fill the time by just showing like a video package. Okay. So that's really it. But no, like I'm trying to think like the only time we have like these major like input like brand like implementations is like they did like a battle royal sponsored by Slim Jim. They did a Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsored match. They did a Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. And then like they have like artists come in, like they had Little Uzi Vert at WrestleMania last year.
Oh shit, that's my guy.
They had Bad Bunny at Backlash because it was in Puerto Rico.
Alberto? They had Alberto.
Yeah. But that's it. Like there's no trailers that get put off. I mean, I guess there's like some advertising with like Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. But
Right.
that's why I love it, because you know what? I don't have to have my time interrupted with, now here's a trailer for 80 different movies that's going to take 45 minutes to get through.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you, as always, for watching. May the force be with you. May you stay burdened with glorious purpose. And we will see you sometime, possibly. Peace out, everyone.
Deuces.
Dose.